Hey everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be creating Every Room is a Different Taylor Swift album. And I am building here in Brindleton Bay, the world that comes with cats and dogs. I feel like this is a very Taylor Swift-esque world. And for the shell, we're not actually going to do any particular album because then I don't think they'll all have their time to shine. So for the exterior, we will probably just do this basic suburban house and then go in and do every room all together. I am going to raise this on a tiny foundation. And I don't know if I have ever mentioned it on this channel, but I am a huge Taylor Swift fan, a massive one, honestly. And so I'm really excited to get to do a Taylor Swift theme build here. This is our loose shell. It's kind of big. I might move everything in just a tad. And we'll move up here and make a second floor. All right, so here's kind of our loose shell, and then we can go in and roof. All right, we're trying to make this as interesting as possible. Okay, so here we have it roofed. Ooh, except for this little area here. Okay, so now with the whole thing roofed, we can go in. For a siding, I feel like we maybe go a dark Midnights-esque blue. And then do we have a darker roof paint than that? And then I'll draw our little terrain paint out. All right, so we've got our little entryway, and then let's go in and get white windows, and we'll put a few more of those up there. Then I think we'll go in and get some thicker columns to hold up the house. Let's get a little tree out front, and then I will go through off camera and do lighting and landscaping, and then we will see the house after that. And so with landscaping and everything, here is our final exterior. I did throw together a little pond in the front just for some added texture and interest. And we've got our little Taylor Sim here checking it out for us. And then we can see with the outdoor lights, the fireflies, things like that. I also threw some tadpoles in the pond. All right, so now we'll go in and draw up a floor plan. Oh, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, actually, let's replace this fence out front with something just a little bit nicer. I like this Love Struck fence instead. All right, this will kind of be our upstairs layout. All right, and then this will kind of be our loose floor plan for downstairs. I'm not crazy about the shape of some of these rooms, but I feel like that's going to make the most sense for us. And normally I like to spin the wheel for what room is going to be what aesthetic or piece of media. However, I'm very passionate about this one and my choices. And so the first room we are going to go in and make is our debut or Taylor Swift themed study. And the order of making rooms in this house is going to be a little bit different than I probably normally do it because I think we will go in album order rather than my usual house building order. Okay, so for the debut themed study, there is a little bit of debate on what color debut is, if it's green or blue. I am a big debut is green believer, but I do want to still add teal accents. So maybe we'll do this greenish teal colored wall. And then for the floor, I'm thinking probably a wood. Debut is very yeehaw. Debut is country Taylor Swift. It's very butterflies. It's very cowgirl. It's very Tennessee. So I feel like we will be using a lot of Horse Ranch in here. And I do want to still keep that green tealish vibe though. So I might do this darker toned wood for a desk here. And I just did show all in Horse Ranch to see I really like this ottoman and this chair. I'm just trying to see what all we can get in here that's giving debut. All right, so here is kind of the stuff I want to include from Horse Ranch. I really like this blue rug. So I think we'll just put that in the center there. I think too, we'll just look up butterfly and see what's in here. Honestly, nothing besides this little butterfly toy. Also, we have this ottoman with the greenish cover. I think that could be cute seating maybe over here. And then maybe the chair here. And I kind of like this swatch for debut. There's a lot going on in here, but I think that's okay. Maybe we'll break it up by putting the little neutral table in between. All right, so we've got our blue and green accents in here. We've got all of this stuff. Again, if we have this in a green, this is kind of debut-y. Maybe this one. And then we'll get to all of this. I really like this chair, but maybe we do it over here instead. I think let's get a bookshelf in here. I honestly kind of like this one from Businesses and Hobbies and mix it up a little bit there. I have so much clutter over here that I want to add. Let's do this plant here. And then I kind of like the guitar here, maybe as a reference to teardrops on my guitar. I don't necessarily want to go crazy with song references because I do think I see a future for myself where every room is a different Taylor Swift song. Like I really truthfully want to do that at some point and do like album based houses. So this is our debut themed house and every room is a different song. And so I don't want to throw in too many references. I just kind of want to do vibes for now. I don't hate this spot for any of that. It is getting a little cluttered over here. Okay, we don't have like a lot of butterfly stuff in here, which is kind of surprising, but we have this like moth, which I guess is like the next best thing. So I thought maybe we could just put it over the door. And then speaking of door, I thought we could put this wreath just on it. And then we have a lot more room over here. I think we can do this poster, maybe this collage of posters. And then we can do like a shelf and the horse picture here. All right, and I think that might be it. So then with clutter, lighting, everything like that, here is what our debut themed study turned out like. Very ranchy, very rural. Definitely a lot of horse ranch going on in here, but I do actually really like the way it turned out. I love the combination of like teen and horse girl aesthetic going on in here. And so with our debut study done, we can move right next door into our Fearless bathroom. And coming right after debut, Fearless is still country Taylor, but she's definitely venturing a little bit more into like the country pop world here. And I kind of like this tile. Fearless does have this energy of like, ooh, or maybe this one. Like Fearless is still very teenager, but it also has a lot of like fairy tale elements. There's actually like more angst in there than I think people maybe realize. I maybe want to go for kind of a paler, I don't know, if we do yellow tile. Like, is this a little too yellow? I think we're going to do it. And then I want to go through and make this bathroom just like a little bit more interesting and add like a little platform in there. And then I think I want to put our shower up there, but I almost think we use one of these like wall showers. Maybe the one from high school years. I think that's a little bit more Fearless. And then maybe we use this like sliding glass door. I wonder if that's functional. We'll see. And then I think maybe we can use the Moschino divider. Let's quick see if Taylor can get in. Okay, perfect. And she can go in there. Although I might edit these dividers so that they don't like clip so badly. All right, so now we made this with the Moschino dividers, and I think that looks a lot nicer with the door here. And I love that. It's just like a little bit more bougie. And then we'll go in. I'm debating using something crazy like this for Fearless. Like it is that like royalty aspect. Oh, wait, I bet we can fit a bathtub back here. I feel like honestly, maybe we are getting away from still the country feel of Fearless. So maybe we do like this bathtub and like a standard toilet. And then over here for a sink, maybe we still do something just a little bit more, maybe like white to break it up. And this is a little bit more standard. Okay, wait, and I think this is looking good. I will go in and add clutter. All right, and then with clutter and everything, here is our Fearless themed bathroom. Lots of yellows and golds. I did try to balance that like fairy tale love story-esque aesthetic with some of the more casual like bathtub and toilet and plumbing, and then just some posters to send home that like high school you belong with me type aesthetic. And then I did also add that litter box there because obviously if you are living in a Taylor Swift home, you have a cat or two. Okay, and so I really like the difference between these two rooms. I also wanted to point out, I found this butterfly art, so I did put it in the study here. I guess then maybe we could say goodbye to our moth. Nah, I can't do that. We'll keep the moth. So then with these two rooms done, we will move on to our Speak Now themed dining room. And Speak Now is my absolute favorite album. I'm so excited. Unfortunately, we are going to go in with purple, which is not our most like popular color in The Sims 4. I don't hate just something like this maybe. And like I said, Speak Now is my favorite album. We are still in country Taylor Swift. However, Speak Now has a little bit more actually of like a country pop rock aesthetic. It's kind of, I would say, the most rockiest of any of her albums. The song Haunted is on this, which is my favorite Taylor Swift song of all time. And Speak Now is very fairy tale. Like, yeah, it has that edge to it, but also we shouldn't have carpet in our dining room. I don't know what I'm thinking. Maybe just something like this. But Speak Now is very fairy tale, very whimsical. It's like fairy tale with an edge. Like, I almost wonder if we do something like this for our dining table. Ooh, or we could do this one. This is very like Speak Now coded. And then let's see if we can do a purple chair. Hopefully one that's a little bit more whimsical. I think this is the matching one, but I don't like that. Okay, honestly, do we do these? That's pretty Speak Now, and they match the table. Let's do that. And then I want to make it just like a little bit more Speak Now-y. Maybe we put like this dragon as our centerpiece here as a Long Live reference where she mentions fighting dragons with you. This plant is called Dualistic Dragons. Maybe we can stick that in each corner. And then I'm sorry, Haunted is my favorite song of all time, so we are going to throw the little ghosts on there. And I do think maybe we could touch of Starlight over here. Maybe this whole wall, actually. I actually really like the look of that. Let's do this like darker light to add a little bit of edge. We could just do this little like gallery wall in here. And then I might just stick some candles on either side of it. I feel like Speak Now is a very like candle-y album. All right, and so with all of that, here is our Speak Now themed dining room. Also, I just realized that the ghosts are wedding toppers, which is perfect because it's an allusion to the song Speak Now. Even though this room is tiny, it looks really nice. And I'm glad we did it justice because again, like this is the album I like the most. This is the one I really wanted to like be proud of, and I do like the way that looks. I might actually put this rug from Vampires underneath the table here. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so next we're actually going to move upstairs and do our teen bedroom for Red. Red is like the ultimate fall album, like very singer-songwriter, very like cozy rainy day vibes. And I kind of think this red is pretty, this deeper red. And then I think we might just go with like a deep brown wood. I feel like this is giving autumn, giving red. Let's go in and put our bed right under this window. We definitely have enough room for this sim to get a double bed. This is also the album where we first see Taylor drift away from country and put out more of that like pure pop music. I kind of like this one. I do want to put a desk in here. I think we can fit it. Okay, a little embarrassing because it's from like kids' room, but I feel like that actually works really well. But I also think it could be nice to put a vanity in here, maybe this one. I also think we could put like a living chair back here. And I want to find one that's a little bit more like teen aesthetic. Absolutely no way there's no red. I mean, we have this. Okay, wait, we have a red beanbag, and I feel like it actually has been a minute since I've used the beanbag in a build. I want a guitar in here for sure. And then I want a bunch of like leaf-based things. We have this like painting, I guess. We can put this above the door. Oh my gosh, and you know what? All of this, and I have not added a dresser or a mirror. So maybe we just do one beanbag back here. Red is giving the chess. I'm so sorry. And for whatever reason, for a mirror, I'm getting the vibe that I want to use the werewolves mirror. And we have a red swatch. I just feel like that looks really nice in there. Also, cluttering this build up, I found this art by Maggot SH, and they have art for every album. It's this little like fake Taylor, but that's okay. They even have the Taylor's versions, which is really cool. So I think I'm actually going to go through and make sure we have one of these as like a little Easter egg in each room. All right, and then now with clutter and everything, we have our red themed teen bedroom. I tried to make it very fall, very kind of studious, and still have like some of the clutter that alludes to it being a teen room. I did use the cross-stitching box again. Sue me, I can't help it. This is a very cross-stitching build. I might change the lighting to this. That way it's just a little bit more like muted and autumnal. Okay, so now we will go back downstairs to do our 1989 themed like skill room. 1989 is like baby blue. Part of me thinks we just go with like a white wood in here maybe, and then we'll make sure we go blue on the wall. And 1989 is like a party album, honestly. This was Taylor's transition into like pure pop music. And if you aren't a huge fan, this is probably the album you know songs from. So Shake It Off, Blank Space, Style, all of these like just absolute bangers on here. So there are a few things I want to add. Like this was Taylor's really big like Polaroid era. So I think it could be fun to add the photo booth in here. This album is just like fun. Like everything is upbeat. Maybe let's throw in the Moschino designer samples. I would love a dance floor perhaps. Maybe just right back here. Maybe we'll just do like a black and white one. Ooh, karaoke would be fun in here. This feels like the perfect room for a bar, honestly. The bar doesn't really like fit conveniently anywhere unless we put it in this corner, but then Sims can't get back there. Okay, wait, now Sims have a walkway, so they could tend this bar if they wanted. I think it would be cool to get a speaker back here. I honestly kind of like the fountain here, but it has to be placed on those one tables. But this table's pretty 1989. Maybe we'll put this here. I do feel like, honestly, we could use like an accent table. Maybe this pastel pop one. And then we can add a few more trinkets on there. Okay, and actually, I feel like this is coming together okay. We can put a disco ball right here over the dance floor. That's really fun. This album is very New York, so I think it could be cute to add a little like city thing here. I do like the idea of the balloons. I think we're going to be going pretty hard in the Party Essentials kit. I do think somewhere we need the little Polaroid camera. Maybe 2 of them here since that is such a big part of like the 1989 aesthetic. Maybe we'll do like this rug in here too. There is this one photo I'm really thinking of using. This one. Like I feel like this photo is so 1989 era like Taylor vibes. Maybe we'll do these chairs too. They kind of add to like the beach aesthetic that Taylor tried to convince us 1989 has. All right, and then all cluttered and everything. Here is our final 1989 like game hangout party room. I don't often make rooms like this, but I'm really happy kind of with the way this turned out, honestly. Over here on the table, we have like the city, the Polaroids, more allusions to 1989. And then here in our dance floor area, I just left it pretty open so that Sims have a lot of room to dance. And then with our 1989 skill fun room complete, we are going to move upstairs to the Reputation master bedroom. And Reputation is like sleek, black. It's a lot more like edgy and sultry and alternative than a lot of her previous albums. This was also the album where she sort of disappeared for a long time, was kind of getting canceled, and then she came back with Reputation. It was like a really big thing. So I'm going to go with this really black wallpaper, and then I know we have this snakeskin one, but it's a little like, I don't know, it's a lot all at once. So what I might do is just add like an accent wall here because snakes are like a huge motif in Reputation. We have 0 just like normal black carpet. That's so annoying. We could do like a tile in here maybe. And then we're getting a black bed. Okay, I'm torn between these two, I think. But I feel like this one's maybe a little bit more Reputation. Ooh, I really like this. A lot of business and hobbies going on in here. And I think it would be cute if we did like a TV in here and had a little like seating area. And Reputation is like fancy, but it is like modern fancy. So I don't want anything that looks too dated. Maybe these life and death chairs are good in here. We can get a desk in here. I'm thinking the same like life and death type one. And then we have this little thing here. Supposedly it says something on it. I think it just looks like a snake. So we are going to add that in. And then this will be our loose bedroom based on Reputation. So then I'll go in and finish up clutter. All right, and then all cluttered up, here is our Reputation themed master bedroom. This might be my favorite room we've done so far. I just think it's so modern and chic. I just really love the aesthetic here. And Reputation is probably my second favorite Taylor album, so I am happy we did well here. I love the little snake thing there. And so with that room done, we will move over here to our Lover themed kids room. And Lover is pink. It's fun, it's bright, it doesn't take itself too seriously. And it was really cool, honestly, in real time to see the shift from Reputation to Lover just because they are so different. I almost want to go with this like strawberry wallpaper from Pastel Pop. And then like a fun carpet. Like Lover's very pink. It's a little overstimulating maybe in here, but I think that's all right. And this album is about love. It's about being in that like happy relationship. There are a lot of like good anxiety filled kind of love songs on here. Okay, I wish we had this in like a swatch that wasn't death related. Okay, wait, we have this horse ranch bed in pink. Why do I kind of love the unicorns on it? Okay, wait, let's do that. And then, oh, this fort is huge. Okay, wait, however, can we put the fort here and put the bed in it? I actually really like that look. Wait, that's really cute. Okay, wait, let's do that here. And if we do have other colors in this build, I maybe want them to be blue and yellow. We can do like the kid's desk out here. I think this dollhouse is pretty cute if we size it down a little bit. And then maybe we stick like this toy box in the corner here. We have this little like crafting table that I think could be cute. Maybe we'll even put that in here. And then a mirror again, probably like a little kid one. This one's super cute. And we'll put it in the fort here. All right, and then this will be our loose toddler room. You can kind of peek in there. And then I will go in and add a bunch of our Lover clutter. Okay, and then with clutter, here is our Lover-themed kids room. I am like completely obsessed with how this turned out. There's lots of kids clutter, lots of love references, and then inside the big old fort, we've got the bed. I added the scary panda lamp because I wanted the umbrella reference in there. I like the pink and blue mobile going on. And yeah, I just think it's really cute in there. And I think a kid would love to have like this setup kind of around their bed area. And so with that room done, we can move back downstairs and do our folklore themed kitchen. And folklore is very, again, a big departure from Lover, but it's woodsy, it's gray, it's planty vibes. Is something like this insane for a kitchen? Ooh, there is a specific wallpaper I'm thinking of. This one, the Misty Forest wallpaper. This is so folklore. We are going to need to be really neutral, I think, in this kitchen in order to make this wallpaper work, but I really want to use it. Maybe we just even do the gray shale tiles, especially because we're using those over in this room, so there's a little bit of connection there. And then we'll go in and stay gray. I feel like gray is not a color I use very often in The Sims. And folklore was really Taylor's first, like, alternative style album. Like, it's a lot slower. The emphasis is definitely on her strong songwriting here. Let's use this wood burning stove. I feel like that's very folklore. Okay, yeah, those match. We can do the matching cabinets from Jungle Adventure. Let's maybe do like a rounded island. I want really like formal bar stools. Maybe just like the stools. Okay, yeah, and then with our loose kitchen looking like this, I will go in and add clutter, probably a lot of plants. Okay, and now all cluttered up, here is our folklore kitchen. There's kind of a lot going on, but I tried to stick with that more rustic, woodsy feel. And then also just threw in a lot of cookbooks, a lot of regular books, since folklore is more of that like cerebral type album. And yeah, I am very content with how this room turned out. I did add curtains here as kind of a cutoff to our kitchen. And so with that room done, we can move next door to our Evermore themed bathroom. So Evermore is the sister album to Folklore, still very woodsy, very cerebral, very songwriter based. And another one that was kind of just a departure from Taylor's normal upbeat kind of pop style that she had been doing before. And like Folklore, this album has always given me just like woods vibes. Like, what if we do this? Just like super, super brown and wooden. But I feel like the difference between Evermore and Folklore is like warm woods versus like dark woods, I guess. And instead of curtains here, I kind of want to do like this growth, kind of in a reference to the song Ivy, but where it's more so that we have like plants covering the window. I think that's really pretty. I feel like we could go with this toilet, although I do almost think it could be fun to give Evermore this like rustic looking toilet and maybe like a horse ranch or an outdoor retreat type shower. Let's do the outdoor retreat one in that corner there. There's also a lot of like green and orange accents in Evermore. Maybe we'll do this bathtub and we can do a little half wall here so that you're not toileting like right into the bathtub. And I mean, I am a believer that, is this mirror crazy? Maybe a little bit. I am a believer that Evermore is a dark brown album that is like the overarching color. All right, and then this will be kind of the loose layout for our Evermore bathroom. Very plant, very woodsy. And I'll go in and add the accents. All right, and then here is our completed Evermore bathroom. We've got all the ivy on the walls and just tried to create like a little rustic, woodsy cottage vibe in here. Again, very similar to Folklore. Like I feel like it wouldn't be weird to have these two rooms in the same house. Like when you look at this room and then this is right behind it, like that's a little bit jarring, but I feel like these two exist in the same universe, which was my intention. And then we just have like little baskets down here. And then we can move to our Midnight's themed living room. And I know exactly what wallpaper I want to use, I'm pretty sure. Midnight's is like a deeper blue.
Got some blue.
And this album is so much fun. This is the wallpaper I wanted. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, this is so Midnight's. It's a little bit weird, but I really like it. But Midnight's is a pop album. It's Taylor coming back to pop music, and this album was huge. It was like everywhere. But even though it's really, really fun, there is an air of like sadness, I guess, with it. Like there's definitely an air of darkness hanging over it, a little bit of like melancholy. So maybe we'll do like a black wood in here. I might put like a giant TV on this wall. Again, just because Midnight's is like really fun. Let's go with this like massive TV. And we can put one of these more like sleek Dream Home Decorator stands underneath it. I do kind of want to get like cat toys back here. We have already established that this is a home with a cat. I love this like big one because Taylor's definitely spoiling her cat. Okay, see, so maybe we have this back here for the cat. And then let's get like a midnight blue couch. Wait, why do I kind of like the maximalist one here for Midnight's? Maybe let's do that. And then see if we have matching chairs. Honestly, this one sort of matches. Let's make it like a set. Okay, so maybe we'll do this and get like a coffee table. Ooh, we have this table in like a midnight blue. I'm trying to think of what else to put in here. I honestly kind of want to put the disco ball in here again, as weird as it is. Maybe our cat will get the disco ball here. And then maybe we could just make this like a music area. So we could do like a record player back here. And like, honestly, maybe the amps. And then maybe we will put in a minimalist dance floor. I use this item a lot, but again, if you don't know, when you are in live mode, this item goes away, but Sims can still dance here. So maybe we'll have this as our little like hangout, dancing, whatever area. I think that's cool. All right, and so with this so far, I will go in and clutter up our living room. All right, so here with all of our clutter and lighting and our ghost disco ball, I guess, there we go. This is our Midnight's inspired living room. I tried to make it very fun, and I threw a piano in here. I realized that we haven't put one in yet, and we have one album left, so I wanted that to be represented. But even though I think this is a very like fun, lively living room, there's something about it. I don't know if it's the blue or like the art. There's something about it, to me at least, that is a little bit like melancholy, and that is what I wanted. So then with this room done, we have finished our bottom floor. So then anyway, we will move on to our last room, which is our Tortured Poets Department bathroom. And Tortured Poets is like white, beige. It's sort of a mix between like Midnight's, which is that like synthy pop vibe, with like the theme and the melancholy and stuff of Folklore and Evermore. I don't hate this like white beige-y tile. This is another room that I want to look a little sad almost. And then we want like white beigey walls. It would actually be cool to give this bathroom a little bit more of like a work in progress kind of feel. Not because Tortured Poets Department was a work in progress. That album is like perfect. But because it just has this like really raw, like personal energy. Like I almost don't hate this with like the little ripping at the bottom from Life and Death. Cause yeah, this is like mental breakdown type stuff. And first and foremost, there is a very specific mirror I want in here. And that is this like cracked Basement Treasures one. Let's get our bathtub first. I really like this vampire one. We'll do this here for a sink. Then I guess we do need another mirror. And I would love maybe like a little bathroom counter going on here. I do want a typewriter in here. As weird as that is such a big theme on Tortured Poets Department. And then with our basics here, this is a little bit more white than I wanted. I'll try to bring in some beige, but this is going to be our loose Tortured Poets Department bathroom. All right, and then all cluttered, here is our Tortured Poets department bathroom. I tried to put like some cracks around there, but they're covered up, like trying to convince everybody you're okay. I don't know. That was my idea. But I'm actually really happy with the way this turned out and that we were able to fill like so much personality in a bathroom. So then I went together and threw together the hallways, put in a piano, some nectar, some gallery art. I found this one that's Taylor Swift lyrics. It's a little like cringe looking on there. It's a little live, laugh, love, but I think it gets the job done. And then just this little area here and threw together our little front entryway. So then that's going to be it for our Every Room is a Different Taylor Swift album in The Sims 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please feel free to give it a like or a comment and subscribe for more videos like these. And let me know if in the future people would be interested in a video where each album gets his own house and every room is a different song on that album. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.